it's time for us to meet our discovery of the week. Now, the show is live and interactive, so kindly use the hashtag Breakfast Daily if you want to send us any messages. And also, we have a WhatsApp line. It's 0550-585832. If you happen to be outside Ghana, kindly prefix that number with +233. Now, our discovery of the week is Emmy Bampoe, and we're going to be talking to her about her foundation. Good morning, Emmy.
Good morning, David.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, it's good to have you here.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long while.
Very long time.
So I saw that you were coming on the show, and I was like, but I know her. When did she start this foundation and all of that? So let's get into it.
Okay.
How far back ago did you have this idea and then actually bring it to reality?
Right. I started doing this without any help for 5 years ago.
Okay.
So I was just feeding the kids on the street. My grandmother lives in the suburb of Accra, Jamestown, Bukom. So you have a lot of kids running around, no school. So I go there over the weekend and I realized this is what's happening. So I decided to just, speak to them. And they're fun. They home just doing nothing. So I decided to just start a little thing. It was just with me and them. Okay. I didn't see this coming. I didn't see the whole spotlight. I just saw myself having fun with them. And then that's just it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell us, what is it exactly that you do as a foundation? I mean, when did you set up the foundation itself as a foundation?
So officially,
and what do you do?
Officially, a year ago.
Okay.
Because doing this 5 years ago, there were no cameras, there were no donations and stuff. So it was just me feeding them, giving them clothes and reading to them. And then friends saw it, I was like, no, now I think you should do this full time. Okay. So a year ago, I started asking for donations and the love was overwhelming. I decided, okay, then I have to do this. So people started giving me the little they have, their clothes, medication, and trying to get them off the street. Because in as much as there are lots of street kids around, I can't do that all by myself.
Of course.
Exactly. So they came on board and we started the Emmy Foundation. So basically, I have 4 foundations. I have the kidney care, the liver care, the sickle cell, and then this, my Christmas project, usually targets the street kids, trying to give them food, like I said, the schooling, and then trying to nurture their talents. So harnessing them from the streets and then, trying to make them feel okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's 2 questions I have.
Right.
From what you just said.
Right.
The first one is, when you say feeding them, where were you getting the food from?
Exactly. So then 5 years ago, it was just me and them just having fun. But then when the donations started coming in, I started reaching out to people like food banks who could actually come on board. And I hired a few caterers, not going to pay them, they were just doing voluntary work. So they will cook, I buy the food stuff with their money, and then they cook and we start feeding. So we try to do it every year. But then it's so scanty, like the resources are so small. It's not enough because
the need is much bigger.
Exactly. You see them and they're like, oh, Amy. I'm like, no, we have to do this in December. Trust me, COVID has crippled our finances. So I was supposed to do my Christmas project last year, and I couldn't do it. I didn't have any funds. Still now I'm looking for funds. So I had to push it to February, making it my love project. And my love project is just a bigger version of my Christmas project. So it's just to do the same thing. But this time someone reached out and I have to go to the ladies there and give them sanitary towels because the sanitary conditions there are extremely bad.
When you say in Sawam?
Yes.
In Sawam?
Prisons. So the ladies, yes, the ladies in Sawam prisons. I had a hint, basically, and then it was that bad. They are in dire need of sanitary towels and then toiletries. So I just decided to, add that to the many things that I do. So giving them sanitary towels and toiletries. So we're going to do my lab project in February, 2 Saturdays. I'm going to split it maybe 21st and then 16th. So 16 comes before 21st. So basically, yes, we go there, feed them sanitary towels and try as much as possible to give them food as well.
Yeah. That's love.
Thank you.
That's love. No, I mean, when we're talking about the month of love and we're celebrating love, this is love.
Thank you.
Because you're not related to any of them.
No, that's all.
Yeah. So, wow. Okay, let's talk about the other things that you do.
Right.
What's with the passion of setting up foundations?
Okay, I have lost 2 friends.
Okay.
The space of a year. I don't want to lose anymore. And I have really people close to me who are very sick. And I realized that our eating habits are actually a part of all these things that's happening. Because with sickle cell, you can't do much because it's genetics. But then you have the right and the authority to control it, because you know when you get married to this person and you're not compatible, it's not going to work. So you're going to have kids in crisis. I've been to the sickle cell clinic for a very long time as someone, okay, so my dad is sickle cell. Okay. Exactly. So it informs my passion, basically. And I see them in pain all the time. My dad's 58 years of age. Yes. And the doctors see him as a miracle, because to be 58 and be severely sickle, it's a lot of things. Like, and even the emotional stress I go through, I don't want anyone to go through that. So with the foundation, the Sickle Cell Foundation, what I do is just try as much as possible to sensitize them, the adults, the young adults. You know, before you fall in love, love is a very nice thing. But then again, you do not want to put your kids at risk. I'm not a health person, but because of my dad's condition, I have realized that there has to be someone who's actually going to be there to, you know, push the agenda of trying to let people understand that, look, love is good. But then again, you have to think about yourself, your future generations, and the yet unborn. Because if we don't do that, then we'll have kids in crisis. Look, I go to the hospital, David, and I am sad. I'm almost emotionally struggling with myself. Transfusions are very expensive, and we're not even donating blood. So the only thing we can do is to try and then reach out to them, to tell them, you know what, sickle cell is not, okay, I can't say it's sexually transmitted, but then you know that I can't be with this person, but you go ahead and then you go and fall in love.
Well, in a certain sense of being a little humorous, it is actually sexually transmitted. You know.
You can say that.
So because, I mean, without an offspring being born of people who are who have the propensity, you're not going to have people who are SS.
Exactly.
You know, so now you're very, I mean, I know you, so I say you're very young, but you've got all these foundations lined up. It seems like a lot to carry.
A lot. That's why I would need your help. I would need a lot of people to reach out to me, especially the pharmaceutical companies, because with the kidney care that I do as well, 2 years ago, I lost a friend. And it was very sad for me because the morning I saw her, she was fine. Trust me, like, she was okay. She spoke to me the following morning, and my dad had actually gone to a sickle cell clinic. So I was there, and then he called me. And the way he called me, the way he sounded over the phone, I knew something was wrong. So I started calling my friend, and she wasn't answering. David, I knew something had happened. I rushed back, and there was my friend. Like, lifeless.
Wow.
And they didn't actually want me to see her, but then I wanted to, because I spoke to her the morning, and she was okay. And you see, with kidney care and liver issues, our health, our lifestyle actually forms a very bigger portion of it, because you know that eating very late, you're not able to digest a lot of things, and the kidneys are actually supposed to flush out the toxins and everything. And if it's not able to do that, you know you're heading for doom. And so with that, I don't have so much, I don't have money at all, David, you know, everything. So I just want to sensitize kids, you know, adults, you know, to tell them, you know, these are your kidneys, this is what it does. Let's drink a lot of water, let's eat healthy. So trying to form the healthy habits from start. Then, you know, there are people also on dialysis, and trust me, it's expensive. And they would need transplant as well. So yes, I have a lot of things going on, but I have almost nothing. I just have you. I have some of my media friends who could, okay, I think you should come and talk. I mean, you should actually share your experience. So that's just doing what I love. Yeah.
Now let's look into the period that we found ourselves. You mentioned earlier that COVID has sort of messed things up and so on. COVID is not going anywhere anytime soon. So looking into the future, of course, the Love Project is the first one that's coming up in a week and 2 weeks' time.
Yes, please.
What else do you have lined up by way of the individual foundations? Any other projects that you're looking at?
With the sickle cell, I slated March for it, but because we're not able to raise funds for My Christmas project in December, and Love Project is actually on, we'd have to push it back. So in a year, I'm trying to do all of them. So just the outreach, you know, talk to people. So kidney care will come in June, then sickle cell in March, then the rest will spread it over. But then with February, my Love Project's coming on right now. I'm really not sure if we can, because you've asked for funds and people are still, you know, exactly.
The donor fatigue is real also, because
trust me, David,
at a point people just, you know, They want to, but they get tired of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Reaching out to people. I actually didn't know I could actually talk that much to tell people to, try and raise funds because it's like, oh, you're doing well, but and my regular donors, David, from December, November, I call, oh, nah, don't worry, I'll get to you till now. I don't have more than 1,000 CDs.
Yeah. Wow.
To even, get the meat, the chicken, because Christmas is all about love. I think this is just me. A greater part of what I do is actually influenced by my parents. My mom is big on this, and so she gave me all her support. My dad as well. So it's just me doing what I love and then, having fun.
Let's talk about the awareness creation.
Right.
Because I think much of what you're doing in terms of apart from the street kids, the other foundations is highly focused on awareness creation.
Sure.
People being more aware, more conscious of the decisions that they are making.
Sure.
Whether it's by what you're eating or by the partner that you're choosing, all those things.
Yeah.
How has that been? I mean, what's the impact like when you go out and you talk to people? Do you find them skeptical? Are they more believing?
Yes. So with the sickle cell, I had one very interesting episode with a lady. She was like, oh, I love the guy.
Yeah.
I'm in love with him. We dated for 3 years. And
okay, hold that thought there. We're looking at some images on the screen right now. I want us to go back and look at that. Tell us what we're looking at.
Okay, so this is actually my little friend. I was actually going to bind books, so I read to them as well. So exactly. So and she's actually a friend's daughter.
Okay.
She's decided to take a picture with me, and then so that day after binding the books, they came around. The kids came around.
Okay.
And, oh yes, and this was last year with my team.
Okay.
So there was a little medical outreach. There was food, there was clothes, and there was some little.
So you don't it's not just feeding, but you also provide medical care.
Yes. I have an amazing team. Shout outs to them.
Okay, fantastic. So you have like nurses involved.
Yes, we have doctors, we have surgeons, we have.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Wow. Pretty amazing work.
Thank you, David.
Pretty amazing work. Okay. So we're talking about awareness creation and this story.
The lady, she was telling me how much she was in love with the guy. So I asked her if she's checked her. She was like, oh yes, I know we are not compatible, but I can't leave him. Yes, she said, and this is actually someone.
Hold on.
Yes.
She says what? I know
we are not compatible, but I can't leave.
I can't leave.
Yes.
Her. Wow.
It was heartbreaking for me because I was trying as much as possible to let her understand the consequences. Because I have actually seen my dad in pain so many times, every time there's an episode. And my mom has actually done a good job to, doing all this.
Manage the situation.
Exactly. Yeah. And me just seeing a little of it is actually troubling for me. So if you, a young adult like myself, and you know this is actually what's happening, and David, you want to go ahead, I really don't have much to say.
Yeah.
Because she knew, in fact, she actually knows what is happening. She knows she can't be with the guy, but she says she's in love with the guy. So I asked her, they're going to be kids. She was like, oh, the proximity is this and this. She was actually telling me.
Well, is she convinced that?
She's believing.
Yeah.
She's hoping.
Yeah.
She's praying that they won't have kids who are sickle. Yes. She believes that there's God and there's science. So if science is saying, God can also say. That's what she. Yes, she has some. I don't know whether to call it faith, but yeah. So you meet them and you are like, oh no, I can't do this. Like because you're talking to them, they are already bent on making the decision they want to make. So it's very difficult for you to actually try and for them to even listen to you. It doesn't work like that. Even I think so I have a mother I've been taking care of who has a young lad just like. And I actually try as much to take her along with me. But David, it's not working. Because sometimes you go to the sickle cell clinic and you see the kids.
Yeah.
David, beautiful kids.
Wow.
And I can't do nothing. Like I am helpless. I want to help them. But it's the decision of their parents.
Yes.
That's actually what is making them there.
Yeah.
And David.
Yeah.
Some of the doctors will tell you all this. That we can't do this.
Thank you for sharing this with us.
Yes.
What are your social media handles?
So Emmy Bampoe on Facebook, Emmy_Bampoe_GH on Instagram.
So AMY.
EMMY.
EMMY.
Yes, on Facebook.
_Bampoe_GH. Okay,
yeah.
fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
All right, so you can reach out to her and have a conversation with her and help her in whatever way you can. All right, Derek Prince.